Good afternoon and welcome to the June meeting of the Main Street Historic Commission. Brenda, will you call the order, please?
Yes. Linda Anderson.
Here.
Gib Backlund.
Here.
David Becker.
Here.
Rick Cantrell. Mary Mae White. Howard Wilson.
Here.
Jim Thompson.
Here.
Deborah Belcher.
Here.
And Paul Cross.
First, I'd like to announce that Paul Cross is going to be a new member of our commission. We're real excited to have him on board. Unfortunately, he's not here today. Possibly the weather has prohibited him from being here. But when he does come, we'll have him give him a short background. But he does have some experience in historic preservation, so we're excited to have him on board. He is replacing Rob Sanders. I will now ask for approval of the minutes for our regular meeting on March the 17th. Any additions or deletions?
So moved.
Second.
So, is that a motion to approve?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any not in favor? Okay, motion carries. Next, our fiscal year starts July the 1st to June the 30th, so I will have an election of officers, and I'd like to ask our nominating committee to put those names on the surface, if she could.
Yes, we would like to nominate Jim Thompson as our chair and Rick Cantrell as our vice chair.
Okay, are there any other nominations for either position? Okay, I'll ask for a motion to approve those two gentlemen for those positions.
Move to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any not in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Congratulations, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Robert, what is our first piece of business today?
We don't have any new business this month, but we do have to, excuse me, we have some other business to consider. During the February 2009 Historic Zoning Commission meeting, Mr. and Mrs. Egley, they came before the commission and were granted approval to do some repairs to their house following an accident that happened last Christmas time. A car smashed into the house and damaged the front porch and a couple of columns. And they were granted approval to do these changes to the house. The only thing that they didn't get approval for was the hand railing, which they hadn't decided at that time what kind they were going to have. They have now decided what kind they're going to have out there, and it's going to be similar to what they have behind the house. It's a wrought iron type railing, black in color. And they're going to have these handrails going up all of the entrances into the house. There's two front entrances on fronting Main Street, and I think one on University Street. In your package, I sent some pictures that depicted the railings that they have behind the house and on the fence and the gate, and it'll be similar in nature to what these are. Like I say, they're going to have them. They're getting close to where they want to start construction of this, so they need to come back for the commission to get approval for these additions.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Any comments or questions from the board on the hand railings?
Could you walk us through, please, the way you intend to attach this? Will you be in from the extreme edges of the steps mounted into the treads themselves and then go up and then turn into the face of the columns? Will they only go back up and turn down back into the porch floor and not connect to the columns? Could you walk us through that, please?
Yes, sir. The porch is, let's see, on the university side, the down rail that's on the left-hand side will be attached to the column, and then it will be on the extreme edge of the steps, and it will attach to the concrete below. So it'll be attached to the wood deck and the column on top, and then to the concrete below. On the right-hand side, it'll just be attached to the wood deck and then to the concrete below.
Okay.
And then on the East Main side, it'll be the same way.
Okay. The drawing that you provided us, what is the height of the handrail?
It'll be, I believe, 36 inches.
Okay. I'm sure you'll be working with codes on the height as a guardrail versus handrail height and whatever they require.
Yes, sir.
The sketch that you provide works with the other photograph that shows a gate in the rear yard. I noticed that you have these fleur-de-lis, these cast pieces on top of the system in the back, and you've also tried to add that to the front. Are they wed to that design of having the fleur-de-lis? I think that little detail may be a bit much and fussy for the railing. Would they consider taking the fleur-de-lis off and just not having them, or extending that post up to the handrail?
Mrs. Egley is pretty married to the idea, but I think if you all as a commission would rather see it just continue up to the handrail, then I can talk with her about that. We were trying to just carry the motif
Yeah, I
from
understand.
that.
You also show at the very bottom an extreme elongated lamb's tongue. Those typically don't extend down that far. They're either a volute or a lamb's tongue of maybe 6 to 8 inches, and this looks almost the whole height of the railing system itself. Is that the case?
No, sir. This drawing was produced by the wrought iron guy that I'm going to use. Mrs. Egley would rather have a shorter lamb's tongue.
Okay, so standard sort of length?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other suggestions or comments?
No suggestions. I just wanted to say how nice I think the porches are looking.
Yeah.
And the fascia, the base of it, really attractive. It really has added a lot to the house.
I brought pictures of what the wood will look like. We did a porch for Bob and Claire Tuma off of Barfield. And if I could, I'd like to bring these pictures up for y'all.
Great.
What is the kind of sealer you intend to put on these?
It's made by Cabinet.
Could you come up to the podium, please? Thank you.
The sealer is made by Cabinet, and it's a conditioner sealant that will need to be applied roughly every 2-3 years
2 or 3 years.
in order for the wood to keep its natural color. Now, the wood can naturally weather to a silvery gray, but the Egleys would like for the color to stay.
Yeah, what is that wood?
That's called Ipe.
Oh,
It's a Brazilian hardwood.
That's right. I had forgotten that.
Okay, if there's not any more comments, I'll ask for a motion with the 2 changes that Mr. Thompson suggested.
I move we accept the plans for the railings, making sure that the lamb's tongue is not as long as shown in the drawing, and talk to Mrs. Egley about the fleur-de-lis. I mean, should we say more than talk to her, or are we? I don't know how to state that, I guess.
I mean, to me, I think they're unnecessary. I understand why she wants to match them. I do. And it makes sense, but I think it's a detail that just adds a little fussiness to something that was never probably there on those railings. So I think typically what I do is I make them simple so no one pays much attention to them. And I think by adding that little detail calls attention to something that's not historic. And I think if you simplified it, it would look cleaner and better to me. I think ultimately, is it a train wreck? Absolutely not. But I would encourage them to consider not having them.
Maybe I should restate my motion. I move that we accept the Egley's plans for the handrails, making sure that the lamb's tongue is a shorter version than we see on the drawing, and eliminating the fleur-de-lis.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any not in favor? Motion carries, and again, thank the Egleys for all the work they're doing. It's great. Appreciate it. Robert, any other business that we need to take care of today?
No, I don't have any other business.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
All in favor? I
Aye.
didn't get a second on that. But
Second.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Hope everybody got through the weather okay today.
Yes.